Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Mates TV. So Liverpool have signed Cody Gakpo. Yes, I was sat here a week ago talking about how maybe Liverpool needed to go into the market in January and buy a forward. I also talked about Fabio Carvalho maybe being his chance to shine. And since that video was published, Fabio Carvalho scored against Man City, and Liverpool have completed the signing of Cody Gakpo for like £37 million from PSV Eindhoven. Yeah, great, brilliant, incredibly decisive move from Liverpool in the transfer market. Julian Ward apparently sacrificing Christmas to get this deal done. That comes from Neil Jones, by the way. I did Journal Insight with him on Redmen Plus on Thursday. Yeah, really great insight into the sort of timeline of that. That's a free video on the YouTube as well, but there's loads more on the main show. But anyway, yeah, Julian Ward making a move, making the move happen, and yeah, Boxing Day exploded in a flurry of Gakpo tweets from Northwest Journos, from PSV Eindhoven, and then ultimately in the days that follow from Liverpool Football Club as well. Boss, yeah, so that takes care of a major problem that Liverpool were looking down the barrel of, and that barrel being Luis Diaz out till March. Jota, if he's back by the end of January, you're still talking well into February before he gets back up to speed. And how likely is he to go the rest of the season completely injury free, given his recent injury worries? Leaving Liverpool with, Nunez, Salah, Firmino. Firmino's already picked up a knock and missed the Man City and Aston Villa games, which big red flags. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain has performed admirably so far when dropped in. Carvalho, not a brilliant game against City, but registered, so that was encouraging. But clear that just one more would provide a degree of safety. And if you can get someone who's got some versatility, and one of the things I spoke about was that versatility, that why I mentioned Mason Mount is that there was maybe like 4 or 5 positions he could potentially play in. Well, the more you read about Gakpo, and there's been lots written about him in the last few days. Yes, he plays off the left for PSV. He's played central for the Netherlands. He's played as a 10 for the Netherlands as well. He's obviously got the height. Conflicting reports between 6'2" and 6'4", but ultimately tall, very tall for a winger. Great eye for goal, loves creating goals as well. Feels like a really big and good fit. That at the moment we've got a lot of lads who can perform really well off the left, and that might seem a slight imbalance, but in reality you've got a lot of potential for fluidity. If you can play Darwin Núñez in the centre forward position, start Gakpo off the left, then those two could easily interchange, cause a different kind of headache for different kind of opponents during the game. Or you might find a game where there's a break glass solution, which Liverpool found in the title winning season, where we go to 4-2-3-1 through Divock Origi on. And if you can if you've got 4 of those 3 that I've already mentioned, you've got Firmino in the mix, you've got Jota in the mix, you've got Luis Diaz in the mix. Yeah, you've got a whole lot of ways to beat a football team if you need to. And crucially, with Gakpo and with Núñez, you've got height in there as well, without sacrificing skill, which is often the thing that goes. We've seen this previously. Christian Benteke, had this Achilles injury before he joined us, was a bit more, I don't know, a bit lighter on his feet, should we say, prior to that injury. But often when you get that, you get the big man, and you give up movement. It's an unfortunate thing, and that's why the guys who are huge but have got that are the guys that cost millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds. So in that regard, potentially really smart deal. We don't quite know where he's at level wise, and that was one of my main concerns about him, is the jump from the Eredivisie and being a top goal scoring forward in the Dutch league doesn't always translate to guaranteed success in the Premier League. Even like someone like Dirk Kuyt, for an example, was a good goal scoring forward in Holland, but never really hit the goal scoring heights in England. And it was telling that he starts centre forward. Rafa ends up using him more for his work rate and his physicality and his aggression and all that kind of stuff off the right hand side. And Fernando Torres comes in as the main goal scoring threat. Anyway, it's kind of by the by. It's a really, really good move. It means that the pressure's off Liverpool this window a bit, but is it totally? So obviously we've gone into the season, the main bone of contention was Liverpool needed to buy at least another midfielder. They're still in a situation where midfielders are likely to, walk out the door at the end of the season. There's 3 guys whose contracts are up, and they are Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain and James Milner. And, there's arguments to keep them around for a variety of reasons, but in reality there's lots more reasons probably to move them all on, all being different reasons for them. So it leaves Liverpool with a lot of work to do in the summer. Can they get some business done in January to take the pressure off the summer? That's the big question. And also, can they alleviate a little bit of the pressure this season as well? Because what we know is, as much as, and Jurgen Klopp said this in the summer, you know, when you've got all your lads fit, Liverpool have got tons of midfielders. They've got loads and loads of midfielders. But injury proneness is a big problem, and you're never more than a week away from someone going out, and then one person goes out, and if you got 2 or 3, changes the landscape. And that was where Liverpool were at this summer, was when Naby Keita can't play, Curtis Jones is injured, and then you've got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain injured, and then if you lose Thiago or Henderson, which Liverpool did for spells in amongst that, you're starting to look really thin on the ground. So I want to talk about Liverpool's midfield situation. I want to talk about Moises Caicedo, because he's the one strongest linked. But also, we're seeing today they're starting to be shut down. We often have this conversation, Neil Jones and I, about Liverpool tend to be happy to let transfer rumours run riot if they feel it's to their benefit. So if they feel it, you know, it's a good way of letting the player know that they're interested, or if they know that it's inevitable and there's no point shutting it down because it's just going to damage their reputation. But often, if there's something they're not interested in, they're very happy to let journalists know, nope, we're not interested in the player. And that's why you end up with like the idea of James Pearce being bad news Pearce, because he'll ask the question, someone at Liverpool will go, nope, not happening, and he'll be the one to publicise that. And we've seen that with Enzo Fernandez this week. Dave Lynch has come out and said Enzo Fernandez is not a January target for Liverpool. He's clearly interested in the past, but Liverpool are not going to be entering into £100 million bidding war for Enzo Fernandez in January. And then Moises Caicedo links came up again. I spoke about him in the summer. Now it felt like he was the one most likely. That there've been conversations in the summer. Can Liverpool get something agreed for January? Can they get over the line and then expedite that when the January transfer window opens? It felt like there was a little undercurrent story there. You might just see Caicedo drop in January. It seems that won't be the case, and it makes you wonder what the thinking is for that, because we're seeing a lot more Bellingham talk again, how Real Madrid are rearing their heads again, but Liverpool have not shut any Jude Bellingham chat down. And when you consider in the space of a week, they've signed a footballer and effectively briefed that 2 others are not Liverpool targets, at any point you could have come out and said Bellingham wasn't. I think it's obvious that he is. Doesn't mean they're going to sign him, but it means that they're very much obviously in the market for him. And that's clearly not a deal that can get done in January. Again, very much rumours, very much through the grapevine stuff that Liverpool have asked questions to Dortmund this window and have had a firm nah, not for us. We're not. There's no asking price unless you go stupid. And Liverpool have got that now game of cat and mouse, where do you run the risk of, you know, spending well over the odds on a footballer now to cut yourself out of a potential race for the signature in the summer? Or are you so confident in the groundwork that you've done with the player and his family and agents and all that, that you can engineer the price more to your liking in the summer because you know that he wants to come and play for you? I think all of us would say just spend the money. But interestingly enough, you look at down the road, Manchester United missed out on Cody Gakpo, and this is the Athletic podcast who've been talking about this, their Manchester United podcast. Effectively, the reason they couldn't go for Gakpo in January is because they overspent in the summer, and they overspent on Anthony as a good example of that. So they didn't have the money left in the kitty to do it, and that's a situation Liverpool might face themselves with. Is Jude Bellingham is going to cost a ludicrous amount of money. If you're then spending, I mean, if you've even got it, but if you're talking about another 50 or whatever on top to make sure that you can get it done in January, well, Liverpool probably need more than one midfield. Jude Bellingham doesn't solve all of Liverpool's midfield issues. And that's something they do need to safeguard against. Now, again, this is why it's so finely balanced and it's incredibly nervy for a lot of people. Not me, they say fair, it'll be. Is that, yeah, you can... You know, you've got options there. Do you renew a Keita contract as an example? There's a cheap way to mean you need one less midfielder in the summer. Do you pick up a free transfer? Does that come with its own set of issues and what have you, you know, when it comes to wages and signing on fees? I really don't know. But, you know, can you promote someone from within who's going to really grow and take a place? Stefan Bajcetic has looked promising so far this season. There's a little bit of a question mark. But my fear over one more now in January is I would do it. I would just go and push the button on Moises Caicedo because I think he's a good player. He's got that scrappy combat combativeness that I think our midfield is sorely lacking. And then, you're going by Bellingham, and then you've got options to find someone on a free, or again, you double down on someone like Bajcetic and Carvalho and Elliott, and hopefully Curtis Jones is back fit, those kind of things. But I would be a little concerned about Liverpool being so bullish on that. Look, again, it's not my money. I just want to see Jude Bellingham play for Liverpool, but I also want to see Liverpool win loads and loads of things. I think we'd all agree that one midfielder is not enough. One midfielder would be enough now. In the summer, you're looking at 2 or 3 potentially that Liverpool might need. And that is a big, big outlay, because you're not just buying bodies, you need quality. You don't just want to buy any old footballer. You don't want to buy rubbish, because as much as it'd be great having Jude Bellingham, what happens if he's injured and you bring in someone in who's subpar? Well, then you're going to be crap. You've got Fernando Torres. Look how good Fernando Torres is. Oh, Torres is injured. Who's playing up front? It's David and go. You don't want that kind of situation. What you want is as much uniform quality across the squad as possible, and then you've got your gems. You've got your Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, Jude Bellingham, Mohamed Salah, and there you Trent, you cut above players. So do they need one more in January? Yeah, I think they probably do, because look, Naby Keita is there, he's fit, he's available, but for how long? Similar with Oxlade-Chamberlain, there's unknown quantities in Bajcetic. Fabinho, for me, needs more help and support, and Jordan Henderson's role as the second choice 6 and the second choice 8 at the moment on the right of the 3 is a little concerning, because I think Jordan's brilliant, and I think he's got a big role to play, for the rest of the season, certainly. But let him do one or the other, because when you start to have to use him in multiples, I think that's when you start to get yourself into a little bit of trouble. But Liverpool have got plenty of bodies. I was working it out before. Fabinho, Bajcetic, Henderson for the 6. For the left side, you're looking at Thiago, Keita, Jones, Carvalho. For the right, to repeat names, Henderson, Elliott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner. Within there, we've got 10, 11, maybe more if you count Bobby Clark in there. It's a lot of footballers, but yeah, one more guy you could depend on, that you can rely on, and you build him for the future as well. It makes perfect sense to me. We'll have to see whether that's the case. Who would that name be? If it's not Moises Caicedo, who would you like to see? Because I haven't seen many other names linked. If Fernandez has been shut down and Caicedo's been shut down, it leaves Bellingham, which is obvious. I haven't really seen any other tangible names. Conrad Lima, but that's gone quiet since the summer. Looks like he's going to join Bayern. Who would that player be that we could target this January I'm talking probably in the region of about 30 to 50 million. Let me know in the comments. Yes, sounds awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you continue to have a wonderful Christmas and a brilliant New Year as well. More to come from me, of course, and plenty more on Redmen YouTube, Redmen Podcast, and of course redmenplus.com as well, where we've got all the lowdown on Cody Gakpo. So if you need more podcast expert insight from coaches, Bolo Zenden, who coached them for 7 years at PSV and played for Liverpool, gives his take on Gakpo over on Plus right now. Go and check that out. But if you want a bit more fun here on YouTube, I'm going to play it out with some 888 Sport goodness. They're talking about which team needs to go heaviest in the transfer market. I'm going for Arsenal, because I think Liverpool have made steps forward. It would have been Liverpool, but I've got Arsenal. Go and leave your comments over there, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe to Mates TV for more. I'll see you all very soon. Have a boss New Year. Ta-ra.
The reason I've gone Arsenal top of this list is because I honestly think that if they spend well, they could win the Premier League.
Yeah,
and therefore they have to be top of this because of what's at stake.
You know what the problem with Arsenal is look, Jesus is their main man, right? He's their number 9 through the middle, and I guess he's their next guy for the next 4 or 5 years. They need to replace him, so they need to go big. When Jesus gets fit again in February, do they have a problem?
No,
a bit like the Harry Kane situation, where it's like you're only there when Harry Kane's not fit.
I don't think you need to sign like that. What you're suggesting is they need to go and sign another marquee player who demands to start.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they need to do that. They need to be a bit cleverer than that. You know, when teams win the league, they win the league because of their main centre forward.
Yeah.
But then there'll always be the other players. So, for example, you know when Chelsea won the league because of Diego Costa's goals? part of the reason that we won the league was also because of Loic Remy's goals.
Like someone that's a slight level below that player.
No,
Just
you know what it is,
to
yeah?
fill in that
When
void.
I don't know if that's a statement that needs to be made to win the league. When Jesus came in from City, it gave everyone that extra lift. Like, we bought a big player, we're going for it.
What they need to do is just sign somebody who can lead the line, press in the way that Arteta likes to press, keep the shape, score a few goals, and basically just keep the seat warm for Gabriel Jesus. Is Origi a potential answer to this problem?